They had rain today in Malvern, Pennsylvania, as the United Hospital Seniors Classic got underway. So it's now a 36-hole tournament. You'll see our coverage live here on ESPN. First round coverage beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the final round on Sunday at 1:30. Join us for it here on your source for sports. 27-21 our score here. And Jerry Parrish in a familiar spot here in the second half. He gets away from 4 would-be tacklers. Excites the crowd before being stopped at the 24 by Mark McCants. The Renegades will try to make a move when we return to Orlando in just a moment.
With a big 17-inch cut, it can go through weeds and grass in a hurry. And with its powerful gasoline engine, you can go anywhere you want to go in a hurry. The Homelite ST-160A string trimmer can turn a tough cutting job into a picnic.
Homelite Jacobson, we put more free time in your day.
Get replacement string for 6 years free when you buy an ST-160A string trimmer at these dealers.
When you've got your body going, we've got the shoes.
Foot Locker, get it right for your body.
All the shoes that fit your body come to the stripes.
Foot Locker, get it right for your body. Get fit by the pros, the expert who knows the shoes that are best
for people who are serious.
Get it right for your body. Come to the stripes. Foot Locker, come to the stripes.
We return to action at 2nd down and 5 as we come back here in Orlando. Richard Crump carries, gets a yard or 2 perhaps. Mills again on the stop for Baltimore. While we were away, a 5-yard pass completed. Collier to tight end Bob Nizzoli. And it's now 3rd down. And 3 yards coming up. And that's the end of the quarter. And at the end of 3 quarters of play here in Orlando, our score 27-21 Baltimore.
To run farther, play longer, safer. Beating foot shock is the name of the game. That's why Dr. Scholl's designed Pro Comfort Eliminator inserts. Foot shock jolts. Like this, the high-tech material in Eliminator inserts absorbs up to 97% of foot shock at heel strike. And the raised arch and cupped heels stabilize to help prevent injuries. Beating foot shock is the name of the game with Eliminator inserts. Fitness starts with Dr. Scholl's Pro Comfort products.
This is a revolutionary advancement in shaving from Gillette Research. The brush. Gillette announces Brush Plus. A shaving concentrate and brush in one. A brush to lift your whiskers with the soothing warmth only a brush can give you. A concentrate with extra softeners and lubricants that are massaged deep into your beard for a shave that is superior. New Brush Plus from Gillette for a superior shave.
What do you call a charcoal that doesn't need lighter fluid? Convenient.
Matchlight charcoal. What could be more convenient?
Tomorrow, we'll prove we're the total sports source. Championship horse show jumping starts our day with the prestige of the U.S. Open. High-class action continues with the 2nd round of the United Hospitals Classic. It's PGA Seniors Golf at its best. All this and live football tomorrow.
There's a professional football league that believes having fun is the most important business at hand. The USFL, where football is still a game.
Welcome back to Orlando Stadium here in Orlando, Florida. Tim Brando and Billy Taylor with you, the former Giants and Raiders and Federals running back. Watching some of his old teammates now with the Renegades. Look at a 3rd and 2 as we start play here in the 4th quarter. Collier in traffic again nearly throws the interception.
It was a great play by George Cooper, too, really, because if he hadn't been there, with the pressure that was on Collier, he had to get rid of it probably before he wanted to. As you watch him, he feels the pressure coming from his backside, and he kind of gets away from it a little bit. And he kind of has to release it just a little bit before he wanted to.
That's John Walker. He was all over him like a cheap suit.
John Walker's the guy who comes in on passing situations for the Stars.
Out of Nebraska, Omaha. Brett Cater's had a good night tonight. He's been true to form. In fact, untrue to form for a first down on his first attempt. Got some rushing yardage. Garcia Lane is stopped at the 38-yard line by Bruce Byram. Chuck Fusina looking to come in to pad his lead and pad his statistics, which have been pretty good here in this game, especially from passing standpoint. Fusina with 174 yards, but then rushing yardage the key, especially in the third quarter.
But see, if you remember, they only had 7 yards at halftime, so they picked up where the Stars usually pick up, and now they're looking like the team that won the USFL championship last year. This right here, his drive is important to both teams. Orlando's got to stop him.
Kelvin Bryant. Again, some activity at the end of the play. Scott Hutchison made the stop. Hutchison out of Florida. Had a brief career in the National Football League. One of the fine pass rushers on this defensive front for Lee Corso's club. A second-round pick coming out of Gator country, and there are those that still believe he's not yet tapped the full source of his talent. Second down and 5 with the ball at the 43 of Baltimore. They lead 27-21, just opening up play in the fourth quarter here on ESPN. Fusina under duress. Well, he was wrapped up by David Graham. He had a piece of him.
That was great pressure, Tim, from the entire defensive line. David Graham, Scott Hutchison, Ron Freeman, all of them were there. And that was really the kind of pressure that you need to put on Fusina. But what I was going to state before that, they had a 2nd and 5 situation. And that is what the Philadelphia Stars want to do, is keep their 2nd and 3rd down situations to a minimum so that they can have a better way to pick them up. And they've done that right. I think that's the whole key to the second half, is keeping their 2nd and 3rd down situations down.
Baltimore with a 3rd and 5. Fusina, 50% on the night, has a touchdown, has an interception. He's been towing the line, 50% efficiency, and there's Jackson on the blitz. They brought the free safety, and it worked. Back to the 35. Corso had to gamble that time. He knew he had to stop them here, and they've done so.
Tim, I watched him on the replay. He came through free, and there was nobody to pick him up, and there was nothing that Fusina could do. That was a great call by Lee Corso, because they needed, it was 3rd and about 5, and they did a great job.
Vendetta gets the punt away. Fair catch is called by Jackson. Orlando will have the ball at their 28 when we return to Orlando. The wind is gusting, and so is the game. Orlando trails by 6.
Hi. Small car protection. 550 plus. 5 years or 50,000 miles plus required maintenance protection. Even better than Chrysler. Covers every new Renault, like a Lion sedan. And Sporty Encore. 550 plus on Renault Fuego. Renault Sport Wagon. And get America's lowest factory financing, 8.5%.
Your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut AMC Jeep Renault dealers. The right guys.
It starts way down inside. When looking good is feeling good. It's something you can't hide. You're feeling good about yourself. Yeah, looking good is feeling good. And looking good is me. Looking good is feeling good. And looking good is me.
Available at Copper Rivet stores throughout New Jersey.
Trailing 27-21. Curtis Bledsoe is out of the lineup. You have to wonder how that might have affected Reggie Collier, the offensive thinking of Lee Corso here in the second half. Marcus is down in an area where you'd have holding. Henry Odom comes up with it. gets about 8 yards. Bill Hardy made the stop. We've also had Willie Collier lost to the Stars.
Holding.
Split in.
69 on the offense. First down.
Joel Patton, the guilty party, out of Duke in his 5th year.
I really hate to see Joel have a holding penalty. I talked to him before the game. He was the starting tackle for the Washington Federals last year, and he told me that he wanted me to mention his name, but I didn't want to do it in a negative sense because he was holding.
They said, Joel, switch positions.
Come on, Joel.
You guys never get mentioned unless it's in a negative situation.
I told Joel that was the only time I could mention his name, so I guess he maybe wanted me to do so. But this is not a good time to have it because they need to put something on the board right now.
First down and 20 now for Orlando with the ball back to their 18-yard line rather than the 28. 6 defensive backs in the game for the Stars. Trying to throw underneath that deep zone, a 3-deep zone. Collier incomplete for Smith. Felder was giving a great deal of pressure to Collier.
That third quarter is really the reason that Orlando has had trouble all year round, and this is a direct indication of what has been happening to him all year. Lee Corso is going to have to go back in his grab bag and figure out some way to rectify the third quarters of the Orlando Renegades, because all year long they've had problems.
Well, the doghouse defense has come of age here in the second half for the Stars. Second down and 20. Collier looking for Walters, threw a bit behind him, but again Collier given great pressure from Buddy Moore, the nose tackle.
You know, the defense is definitely at an advantage in that situation because it was 3rd and 20, and all they have to do is tee off on the offensive lineman, and it puts them at an advantage. And the offense really has got to get in a better situation.
12 minutes and 47 seconds are left in the game. Orlando had a 21-10 lead at halftime. It's now 27-21 for Baltimore. 3rd and 20. Incomplete. Parrish, the intended receiver. Lush along with R.L. Harris. The Stars really had 6 guys back there. It's awfully difficult to throw against that kind of defense if you're the quarterback.
It's literally impossible. The only person I used to see do it was Roger Staubach. He used to do it in that 2-minute situation with the Cowboys. But also, the defense of the Stars is really coming of age. As a matter of fact, this second half may propel the Stars to go on and get in the playoffs. They're looking very good, Tim.
Remember now, they have to be concerned with what Jacksonville does, because right now, the 8 teams get in the playoffs. They have the 9th best record in the league. Jacksonville plays on Monday night here on ESPN. Garcia Lane, a dangerous maneuver, makes good use of it, bringing the punt out to the 47-yard line. Things are looking up for Jim Moore and the staff of the Stars. They lead 27-21.
I've driven a lot of sports cars, but to get a legendary one for under $11,000, you're only talking Mazda RX-7.
The cockpit's very well thought out. Everything's right where it should be.
And nothing delivers power as smoothly as Mazda's rotary engine, all the way up through all 5 gears. Near perfect balance, too.
At 10,945, sports car value just doesn't get any better. Mazda RX-7.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
Hey, that truck runs, a Fisher & Son doesn't.
Only gets the big Q. Quaker State.
Well, you can depend on number 1.
Fuel pop, they start with Pennsylvania grade crude.
Nothing like Quaker State.
It's a one-of-a-kind formula. Stable viscosity, keeps the oil flowing, protecting, no matter what.
No substitute for quality. I got 2 great partners.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
They're awfully important from here on in on ESPN. USFL football coming at you Monday night from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. The run and shoot of the Gamblers going against Lindy and Fanny's unpredictable Bulls. Mike Hafter and yours truly will be there for that one, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. on the West Coast, here on ESPN. Just over 12 minutes left in this one from Orlando. Bryant is stopped for little or no gain. first down play will net a couple, if that. Ron Freeman made the stop for the Renegades.
Down the ball. What's the ball, man?
Tim, I thought that it's easy to second guess up here, but I thought that Kelvin Bryant should have stayed with his blockers, which were leading him outside. Looked like he had a little bit of room out there. So now it comes up with a second and long, which is a situation they don't want to be in. It literally is a passing situation.
Second down and 10. They gave him nothing on the spot of him with the ball. Bucina to Riley, a yard shy of the first down. Freeman made the stop.
So a lot of things that people don't realize is if you have a second and long, you don't have to pick it all up on one play. Like right there, they picked up 8 or 9 of it, and now they bring the third down situation to 3rd and 1. And that's easier to pick up than a 3rd and 8 or 9.
Gary Leorenko checking into the game, bringing the play from the Jim Morris sideline. A couple of tight ends are in the game as well, including Jeff Roddenberger, a converted fullback, and that's Roddenberger in the slot right. Bryant gets it. He has the first down. Spun to the turf at the 38-yard line. Mike Guess made the stop for Orlando.
If you watch Bryant in the isolation, he literally just follows his offensive line. David Riley, the fullback, makes a good block, and all he does is follow it and gets his weight going forward. And once the running back gets his shoulders going forward with momentum, he really should not be stopped. But that right there was a tribute to the fullback, David Riley, and the great offensive line.
In this half, Kelvin Bryant has been the Kelvin Bryant of old, and he gets it again right on cue, inside the 35 to the 32.
Now, Tim, we are now seeing the Kelvin Bryant that we're accustomed to seeing. He followed his blockers outside, picked up a positive 6 or 7 yards, and I tell you, man, he is a great running back. You watch him again on the play, followed his blocking great. It was an inside trap. He can either go inside or outside, following his blocker, Kaminsky, and does a great job. Look at it, just follows it and picks up his speed, picks up a positive 6 or 7 yards. That is the Stars' way of doing things right there.
Victor Harrison coming split wide at the bottom of your screen. That's Fitzke at the top. Second down and short. Riley, the intended receiver. The pass a bit behind him. And we're coming now to a 3rd and 4 that's really looms largely to the hopes of the fans here in Orlando.
Anytime that a running back or the offensive system can pick up 4 or more yards on first down, it puts the defense at a disadvantage because the offense can either pass or run. And now at 3rd and 4, they don't really know what they can do because the trap play has been good and going inside or outside.
Orlando seems confused defensively. Joe Ehrman came in the game, the tackle replacing James Scott. Ron Freeman, who calls the signals, was a bit confused, and he knows that this is a very big play forthcoming, and he wanted to take a timeout and chew the fat about this for the moment.
But Tim, if Orlando is going to have a chance to win this game, they really have got to stop them right here, because if they get within 10 more yards, they are in Trout's field goal range.
9 minutes and 42 seconds are left, with the Stars leading Orlando 27-21. They'll talk about it defensively, realizing they must stop Baltimore here.
Renault introduces America's best small car protection. 550 plus. 5 years or 50,000 miles plus required maintenance protection. Even better than Chrysler. Covers every new Renault, like a Lion sedan. And Sporty Encore. 550 plus on Renault Fuego. Renault Sportwagon. And get America's lowest factory financing, 8.5%.
Your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut AMC Jeep Renault dealers. The right guys.
Gotta be there at 8, gotta illuminate. Got to be looking much better than greats. Grab a classic color, add a little more style. Looks like Levi's corduroy night. Levi's corduroy night, looking good. It's a Levi's corduroy night. Looks like it's gonna be another night.
Available at Stack Stores throughout New Jersey.
2 seconds left in our game from Orlando. Tim Brando and Billy Taylor with you. The Stars have come through here in the second half, taking advantage of some mistakes made by Orlando. Kelvin Bryant has gotten on track. Right now it's 3rd and 4. Joe Ehrman goes over the line of scrimmage. Now he claims he's pulled, and we'll see.
I definitely saw Joe Conwell move. Offensive linemen are not supposed to move at all, so I definitely saw that.
Conwell, the left tackle, would have been
disconcerting on the defense, 74.
That is not a good call. I don't mean to contradict the officials, but you watch him move. Watch 71. Look at that. He's not supposed to move.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
I would throw the red flag if I could. But I guess that's a judgment call.
Well, Lee Corso would love to throw it.
That was not a good call, and this is what you call having the brakes go against you. Orlando had the brakes in the first half. The Stars definitely are having the brakes in the second half.
Remember now, change of possessions, touchdowns, those are the areas where you can throw the red flag. Not there. Ryan is stopped by Freeman. In his 3rd year out of Pittsburgh State, Ron Freeman has been the mainstay of the Renegades defense.
That was a great play because he literally just came through untouched. You watched him. He read the play perfectly, came out of nowhere, and just really cut him, made him have to cut back, and just met him at the line of scrimmage and stopped him for no gain. That is a great play by a linebacker.
2nd down and 12. The ball just inside the Orlando 30-yard line. 1 first down, and we're in Trout country. Riley. He gets 7 yards. Jackson and Kelvin Atkins there to make the stop.
You know, Tim, you wonder why the second half is going so fast, and the answer is simple. The Stars are into their running game, and that's the reason the clock is moving so fast.
We're almost halfway through the 4th quarter here. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. And this again is where we mentioned earlier that the Stars, once they get things going their way, they can really eat up that clock and keep the opposing defense on the field for a long period of time. 6-man line as Orlando shows blitz. Here it comes. Fusina. He was just getting rid of that one for his good health. Victor Jackson was back deep. There were 2 or 3 receivers that were in the end zone, but none of them were close to the ball. We've got markers down.
Hey, Smith, 74 on the defense.
Tough night for the granddaddy, Joe Ehrman, of Syracuse fame in his 14th season. Jim Moore just loves it, and Ehrman, who has a rocking chair in front of his locker, will be giving it fits tonight. In fact, he may pound it against his locker after the events of the last couple of series. James Scott is coming to the game for him.
Tim, I'd like to take this time to number 77 for the Orlando Renegades, James Scott. His grandfather passed away this morning, and we'd like to express our sympathy here at ESPN to the family of James Scott, and we wish their family condolences and sympathy from our family here at ESPN.
James Scott is now in the ballgame, replacing Ehrman on 1st and 10 with the ball at the 17. Freeman in on the stop along with David Graham. Not much room at all for Riley. He gets a yard. That's about all. 2nd and 9. There you see the time remaining at the top of your screen, and certainly not on the side of the club you see right there in blue.
The defense has got to stiffen up right now because they're already in field goal range. They cannot let them get a touchdown.
This game really does, with the exception of the score, remind you a great deal of the San Antonio-Orlando game played here on Monday night.
That's exactly true, Tim.
Fusina with plenty of time.
Tim
Fitzke was open up the pass again behind him.
If you watch the isolation, he had his man beat by at least 2 steps. As you watch him, he ran a nice pattern, came in motion, ran it upfield, turned it in. He had Jeff George beat, but the ball was behind him. As you see Freeman trying to get in on it, the ball was definitely behind him, but he was open. As a matter of fact, a completion could have had a touchdown, Tim.
The media has been very unforgiving in Stars country to Chuck Fusina, and he has had not perhaps his greatest of nights tonight, but there are those that would tell you that Chuck Fusina of a year ago or 2 years ago would not have missed a receiver that open in that situation. Third down, touchdown. And there's Herbert Harris out of Lamar, and that could be it right there.
Tim, that goes to Fusina. He read the blitz perfectly, and the pressure was on him, but he threw off the wrong foot and still completed the pass. That is really a competitive, good quarterback. That was why he was the player of the year in the USFL last year.
Shake it to the left and shake it to the right for Herbert Harris. And it's 33-21 Stars as they look to tack on the point with just under 7 minutes left, and the fans are hitting the exits right now.
Tim, that's kind of a shame because the Renegades really played a great first half, and for them to come out flat in that third quarter, that was the whole game right there.
Chuck Fusina may have been erratic at times, but he's been on target when it counts. His team leads by 13.
Here in the driver's seat, I can tell you real quickly if I'm driving a true road car or something else. This Mazda 626 lives up to the name. Nice wheeling overhead cam engine, smooth shifting 5-speed, even adjustable suspension. This car really likes to run. This is one refined road car. It's also fun to drive.
And at $88.45, it also lives up to the value you expect from Mazda. Mazda 626.
The concept. The Budweiser International Race of Champions. The challenge. 12 of the world's best drivers from kart, Formula One, NASCAR, and endurance road racing. The cars. 12 identically prepared Camaro Z28s. The competition. 4 races, 4 tracks, 1 winner. Get ready for the ultimate championship. The Budweiser International Race of Champions.
Saturday, ESPN has one of the greatest offensive battles of the USFL season. The Tampa Bay Bandits host the Memphis Showboats, live Saturday.
That should be a great one, the Tampa Bay-Memphis game. Paul McGuire standing by along with Jim Simpson to bring you that one. There are the other games coming up this weekend, included that Monday game, Jacksonville at Houston. I'll join Mike Hafner for that game. We're looking forward to bringing you that one, a game that means so much in the Eastern Conference. They just get better as the season wears on here on ESPN. 34-21. The Stars leading. Still plenty of time for Orlando. It's not over by a long shot. Parrish a yard deep in his end zone. Boy, has he been rocked in this game. There's Warner. Scott Warner, the Georgia star. That's why Vince Dooley produces great talent. Talent that can do it defensively as well as on special teams.
Parrish really ran up in there like he really wanted to do something, but Scott Warner came out of nowhere and hit him blindsided. Those kind of tackles usually cause fumbles, but they definitely add momentum to your team. This whole second half, you've got to be impressed with the Stars defensively as offensively.
Chuck Fusina, to his credit, has weathered the storm beautifully, both on and off the field this year. In fact, there are those that would tell you that his arm problems have been difficult for his coaching staff to surmise, because Fusina's not the kind of guy that would complain. He would never go in and say, gee, my shoulder doesn't feel quite so good. I think I'd rather sit tonight. That's not Chuck Fusina football. Collier, the Flowers, he gets 6. Bill Hardy made the stop.
You know, Orlando now is in their kind of hurry-up offense. At the beginning of the San Antonio game last Monday night on ESPN, Orlando came out in their hurry-up offense, and I didn't understand why they didn't possibly do that in the beginning of this game, but then I guess they jumped out to such a big lead that you felt they didn't have to.
Single setback is Odom. The pass incomplete for Flowers, and he had plenty of room. That one just got away from Collier, and he's upset with himself.